I think we'll see better out of Patrick Mahomes as the season comes along.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
That we'll see better out of Patrick Mahomes.
Good teams have to find ways to win, and
Right.
it's good to see that. In this, what I would say, past 4 years, really seeing the defense step up in those times.
Right.
So, I mean, let's be honest, we really have relied a ton on the offense.
Yeah.
You just got to think, as years go, the defense assignments from the coordinators just, because they try to get better year to year, and so seeing Patrick Mahomes and knowing what he can do. In our offense, you're going to try to doll up what you can to affect that. So
I'm gonna try to get comfortable like you.
And
Let's
we
see what happens here.
that 2019 team that we had, just it was a different breed of offense. You know what I mean?
It really was.
So
well, and even the year that we won the Super Bowl without Tyreek in 2022, that still was not like a high-flying, high-powered offense. We still had to find ways on defense to win games. So,
and we're seeing that come to life. So
which I think has really prepared these guys for, because you got to think most of this team got put together in 21-22.
Yeah,
a lot of that defense.
Yep.
So you got guys looking to get paid in the next couple of years, which is going to be a lot.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot. So here in a couple of years, we might have to finagle some stuff around, pull the Jerry Sneed moves. Move some players, but.
All right, so let's get into the overall recap of the game. We won 22-17.
Yeah, we did.
We got the dub, so that makes us 3-0. With that was our first away game, which was pretty electrifying. Sunday night game against the Falcons. So, all right, so we'll get to the opponent stats. You had Kirk Cousins, who overall went 20 for 29, 230 yards, a touchdown and a pick, sacked a couple times. And then on the rushing, the game plan dialing up to, because the week before Bijan Robinson had a highlight of a game and was instrumental in helping them come back in their win last week. So we was able to hold him to 16 carries, 31 yards. He did get a touchdown. But we contained him really, really
That's
well.
got to be frustrating. You got less than 2 yards a carry.
Yep.
On 16 carry. That's super frustrating. I mean, Tyler Algier had a much better game as a secondary back. He only had 1 more yard, but still.
Yeah. I think he averaged around 4.4 yards a carry or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the defense did their job against Bijan Robinson, with just not letting him really get going, which was a huge game plan there. Receiving wise, Drake London, he had a pretty decent game. 6 for 67, and a touchdown. Which that touchdown, I know a little bit of our concerns of just kind of how secondary would be on this was a broken down coverage.
Yep.
Where in the press conference, Najee Johnson did admit to he was trying to do too much. Yeah. He said, "I felt that there was a screen coming on," what you did see Bijan Robinson break in, kind of coming in for the screen, but I would say it was just all of a design of the play.
Yep.
And he said he tried to do too much because Tranquil was going to follow Bijan while Najee Johnson would follow the guy going.
Right.
Going
well,
deep.
And you do see Najee at the snap, give him the signal to switch if he goes out, and Tranquil didn't see him at all. Yeah. Tranquil's looking over to the other, the back, like Trent McDuffie, and looking to see, hey, what's this? You know what I mean? And he didn't see Najee give the play, and I mean, realistically, it's just, it's a blown coverage. I doubt we see Najee Johnson make that mistake again.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep, I agree. So that's how Drake London got that touchdown. So little breakdown there. Chiefs though.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Patrick Mahomes had 39 attempts, but a lot of it wasn't crazy downfield.
Nope.
But so and we knew that probably coming to this game, he would probably throw a little more with Pacheco out. So Mahomes went 26 for 39, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns in the pick, which understand on that interception. On that play was Andy Reid was like, it was a touchdown play if the pass protection held up. This is just those kind of weird things you just kind of work out. That you got to just work out. But the passing protection with Carson Steele was supposed to slide because it was cover 0. And we didn't pick up that blitzer with then pressured Mahomes. But Mahomes also, saying he has to play better. He didn't, he probably shouldn't have thrown that ball. Man. I mean, we seen quite a few just even from the get-go, the first pass to Rice that would have been a first down was low. A little bit off there.
Even on catches, balls just didn't look like they were where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
There was I think 2 of the catches Rashee Rice made. I'm like, oh, that's a perfect ball that only he can get. But to those 2, there were 12 balls that should have been further out in front of the receiver. Yeah. Like there was several that Rashee Rice had to reach behind him to grab. The one to Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
He had to, which we'll get to in a minute. Yeah. He had to reach behind him and grab. So, I almost feel like he adjusted last year to having to undercut his receivers because they weren't like making the plays downfield.
Right.
And he's almost like in that mindset of like, oh, I've got to put it like in a position like a little bit further back because my receivers aren't confident running the route, so they're not going to be where I need them to be. They're going to be here, so I'm going to throw it there. That's kind of what it looks like, you know what I mean? But I think that's going to change over time. Like over the season, you'll see him become more accurate again and making more balls downfield. Miss Travis Kelce on a couple open routes.
Yep.
And which he acknowledged as well. So I think we'll see better out of Patrick Mahomes as the season comes along.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hot take.
We'll see better out of Patrick Mahomes. His marriage is in shambles. His friendship with Travis Kelce is in shambles. The internet's going wild. So, he's falling apart. He's never going to be the same.
Man, oh my gosh, no. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes. I think he'll clean some things up.
Yeah.
And a highlight to that though is you can tell like even in some of those harder catches. The receivers are stepping up and catching those certain passes. So it's just good to see that they're helping picking them up. At moments that they can. Some of those are just tough to catch, but I think he'll pick it up. Carson Steele in his debut as a starter. God. 17 rushes for 72 yards.
J.
Yep. So around was that 4 yards or so, 4.3 or whatever. Yards a carry. So I would say that that's really good, especially giving him 17 carries. I mean, Pacheco averages around 15 to 22 carries on the high side. So to see him get 17 carries is just showing like, hey, we're not abandoning the run because we don't have him, and we trust this guy that is playing, which I'm excited just to see what Carson Steele does.
He runs. I mean, he even alluded to Isaiah Pacheco by saying, Isaiah Pacheco runs angry, and he actually said he doesn't form his game. He really doesn't form his game off anyone. He just wants to get as far as he can on every carry.
Yeah, so, and most of his carries, like he is always going forward. You know what I mean? Even when he's getting tackled, he's still going forward.
Well, and they on the broadcast they said. Man, that's what you want to see as a running back is like the front of your jersey is dirty. I wonder what the back of it looks like. And he pans the back. It was like clean. It looked like it just came out the washer. And he's like, that's what you want to see. Like, yeah, that is. So he's running forward. He's running over people. Like he's making contact and people are falling backwards. Yeah. I love it. He runs hard. He runs angry. One difference between him and Pacheco, he's not really a catcher out of the backfield.
Yeah. So. Just his style of catching, which can really does matter with the running back because it gives them that momentum as they catch the ball moving forward. But I think he played really well, and he stepped up and had some decent runs and some hard on runs when we needed on third down. So I'm excited to see what he does. Just more comfortable. It's the first game starting. So some of those nerves and stuff, but he came out and played well. I mean, one time he came out, and you can just tell he was gassed. He was just like, on the sideline taking that breather.
Yep.
But I think he stepped up and played well. So it's gonna be interesting just to see. And then P. Ryan, right with them, 6 for 25. P. Ryan did also have some catches in there. So it's good, just kind of committee that they have there. Then we'll kind of see, this first week where they put in Kareem Hunt. So we'll see what he can bring there. Rashid Rice. Rashid Rice is he is still that yak
boy.
guy.
That rice was cooking.
That
you know what I'm saying?
was cooking.
That rice was cooking.
Yeah, I like brown rice. So he had
12
12 receptions for 110 yards. He had 1 touchdown, which again on that touchdown was a yak play. I mean, coming across and getting it, and yards after the catch, getting into the end zone. So Rashid Rice is stepping up big, and it's good to see him playing well. He was targeted 14 times.
Yep.
And so big game by him. Kelsey, he had 4 receptions for 30 yards.
On
again,
5 targets.
Yeah, on 5 targets. Was 17 was his longest.
Hey, I'll take 4 for 30 over 1 for 5.
Yeah, and what most kind of the take on which everybody like, why don't they give him Travis Kelsey the ball and this, and we know a bunch of Swiftie fans out there just really taking
they were mad because Taylor wasn't at the game. That's they don't care about Trav. I mean, they might.
Yeah, but one of the things understanding is he is being doubled and triple teamed quite a bit of the game.
Yep.
And I think that Kelsey I think he's a professional player, which he knows just that and he's a team guy. Mm-hmm. And he knows just what goes into the overall plan of the game to where, man, if I'm getting this type of coverage, understanding that, man, my guys have to be open.
Right.
And they are being open, and they're stepping up making those plays.
Yep.
I get it, though. He's a competitor. He still wants to get the ball and stuff like that. And after the first half, coming in the second half, he did get, that's when he started getting several of his targets.
Yep.
So I think things pick up there. But if defenses are saying, hey, we've seen how your receiving core was last year, the guy you brought in probably to be, your number 1, number 2 is injured. You got this rookie who, he's a speedster, but he hasn't proven anything.
Right.
So we are going to make you guys beat us without Travis Kelsey.
Yep.
So, and we're seeing that play out. I think they'll find more ways to dial up some plays to get him the ball. But right now, people are stepping up, and it's working.
Yeah.
I think Kelsey would get his, and we're going to see him get his. And then everybody will be happy, for the most part, But yeah, he had 4 catches for 30 yards. So he had a, again, not a spectacular game by him. But he made a few plays, which overall helped us in the win.
Yep.
So I think they'll clean. I think some of that come about as they just work different ways to get him the ball, get him open, maybe some screens. I mean, he did get the target that he got the one target that he dropped.
Yep.
That was in his
Would have
hands.
been a first down.
And you probably can tell. He kind of hit the ground. The frustration, probably like missing the ball, but then like maybe his opportunities. But I think they'll clean that up. I mean, they'll figure it out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, defensively, defense, again, every game, I said this Sunday, every game so far has seemed on the first drive of the opponent just drives down the field, right? And they have scored on their first possession.
It's almost like the defense is like being like, okay, what are you going to do?
Right.
Like, what do we need to adjust to going forward?
Yep.
But I don't like it.
I know, but I don't either because some of those teams will not make certain mistakes, and but defense is playing well. I mean, Spags he's doing his thing, and he's using the pieces that he has. Jamari Connor had 10 total tackles, 5 solos. Bolton, as you talked about, Bolton. That's why this man has to stay healthy. And I mean, in reality, he's playing for a contract.
Yeah.
We're not sure. Obviously, we would love for it to be with the Chiefs.
Yep.
But wherever he goes, this is a contract year for him.
Yep.
So him staying healthy is huge.
Yep.
And not only for that, like personally, but for our team and for our goal. Mm-hmm. And so you've seen even with that little nagging injury there, he comes back in the game and he makes. I mean, several major plays.
He had 3 tackles for loss in the game.
Within that,
and they were significant every time.
Absolutely, and then the big one that sealed the game for
yep.
us. So he is that quarterback of our defense. We see it and we know it, and they're playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamari Connor had that. What was it? Was it interception or fumble?
No. So what was that one? So Felix Anaduke had a fumble, the strip sack, where Bijan Robinson kicked it out of play, penalty, loss of downs.
Yep.
And then
the interception was
the interception. Turk Wharton came and swatted Kirk Cousins' hands right as it was going forward.
Yep.
And Jamari Connor comes in, he makes that interception, and then he hands it off to Jalen Watson.
Yeah.
That's how many times that happened last year.
Yeah, that was
on the fumble to Trent McDuffie to Brian Cook.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's funny that I almost saw that. Now he didn't get as much yards, but we got the turnover and we made it hurt.
Defense looks great.
Yeah, defense is stepping up, and I love it because on that last play and that 4th down, you see Leo Chenal come in there and he blows that right tackle, bro.
Yep. Well, he takes on 2 offensive linemen at once. He occupies to free Bolton up. Yep. Yeah. It's almost like he's blocking the tackle to hold him there so Bolton can get
up
through.
For his guy.
Right.
And which was huge because you just see, I mean, Leo just went in with just kind of the power that he had to just blow up where he could, and that just shows how strong
he is. An underrated sleeper for a linebacker.
Oh man, him and Jamari Connor, I think, are X factors for us this year.
Yes.
With obviously in the secondary losing Snead. And then, losing Gay, who was just, known in the offense, and he was a sideline guy. Right. So seeing 2 guys come up, I think, are huge X factors that they're just silent, but they're making tremendous plays.
Right. Well, and a lot of people think that Drew Tranquill was taking over for Willie Gay. Realistically, it was Leo Chenal.
Yeah.
Leo is the guy that had to really take in that role of Willie Gay because Drew played a lot with Bolton and Willie Gay. Yeah, they rotated, but we needed that 3rd guy. We knew Drew Tranquill. We knew his track record. We knew he's good. We just needed that 3rd guy. And man, even last year, Leo was making plays.
Oh man, he's a great player. So
yeah.
When his pay time come, I hope we get money to pay and keep him because he's playing tremendously well and he's staying healthy.
Yep.
So we love seeing that. And then we got to get to our guy. We got to get to him. 3rd quarter, he had 3 kicks. And 2nd quarter, he had, 2? Harrison Bucker coming up big time. He went 3 for 3 field goal. He did miss one extra point.
He missed that PAT, man. Yep. At the snap looked good. The hold looked good. He just pushed it.
Yep. He just pushed it. His longest was 53 yards.
Yep.
So, I mean, just coming up big and capitalizing because, that's another little thing. We thought that we would see major growth. Maybe it's just not yet, right? Mm-hmm. We was like, man, we're going to see major growth in the red zone, which, man, we're not seeing Jared Wiley in the red zone. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's playbook-wise. I don't know. But, we're not seeing what we need to in the red zone, which, speaking of red zone, Juju Smith-Schuster, after Rice goes down with the wind knocked out of him, Juju comes in and basically runs the route that Rasheed Rice would have been running. Come around the middle, catch the ball, gets in the end zone. So I'm glad to see he's coming along and he's getting more snaps.
It was a great route. I believe it was Xavier Worthy that ran across the middle on the other side.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Two of the defenders ran into him and held up that third defender. The third defender had to pause because the two guys ran into him and had to run under. So that was a great Justin Watson. It was Justin Watson. It was Justin Watson. But either way, like Justin Watson looked like he was going to run into the guy, but then like sidestepped the last second, and then defenders ran into each other. And that third defender that was chasing Juju, he had to like hold up to try to get around him, so he didn't go down and wide open.
Yeah, wide open.
Just wide open. It was a great play.
Yep, and capitalized on that. So, that was great to see. We know we did that. Well, we'll continue special teams here in a second, and then we know on that one third down, there was some confusion.
Yeah.
Again, just some things we got to clean up.
Yep.
Maybe Rice, he was too low on his route, and Worthy felt that, so probably felt that other defender as you see him stop. So there's some things that we're just overall cleaning up, but they're winning the games. Defense stepping up, and then special teams coming up big. Bucker had a big game, and then Ariza, man,
Matt Ariza,
dude, I tell you what, he saved the game.
He saved the game.
He saved a major turning point in that game, because if that ball goes over his head, they either get on the ball in the end zone for a touchdown, or they're getting in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, Ariza got up there. I don't know if Townsend gets that ball.
No.
He was quick. He stayed under poise and still made a great kick.
It
almost was a turnover.
It looked like a receiver highlight catch with how extended he was.
A buddy of mine texted me, and another guy was like, Matt Ariza with the best catch of the game?
Yep.
Like, yes, it was. So his longest punt was 52 yards with 1 in the 20. We're just seeing him play well. So special teams is stepping up too.
Yep.
So again, everybody's contributing, even besides some of the mistakes we're having, and everybody's contributing, and which comes into winning that game and going 3-0.